guys? It's Adam with Pacific Coast Iron, and today we're going to go look at a 2018 John Deere 650K Dozer. United Rentals has it for sale. Supposedly it's got a new undercarriage on it. I've heard that before, so we'll see if that's true or not, but that's one of the main reasons why we're going to look at it and check it out. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to meet the salesman in about 30 minutes, and we'll let you guys know how it goes. So I want to talk about dozers today, and the reason why we're going to look at this dozer in particular is because it's got fairly low hours on it. It's got about 3,000 hours on it. Obviously, varying degrees of condition at 3,000 hours, depending on who's been using it, who's been running it, that sort of thing. But it's got rippers and it has a cab on it, which is pretty valuable out here to us in California. Pretty sought after machine, about a 25,000 pound size, which is perfect out here in Northern California. Very, very popular machine. So great for inventory. So we're going to go take a look at this thing and see what the condition of it is. Hopefully it's in good shape. We'll see what happens. The salesman at United Rentals says it's in good shape. Again, it's United Rentals. We've all heard that before. So we'll see what happens. But main thing we're going to be looking for is leaks in particular on these things. These 650K model is still a hydrostatic dozer, so they're going to have two hydrostatic pumps, one on each side. And those pumps are the main thing we want to be looking at when we're looking at these dozers, because they're very, very expensive to replace and very, very hard to do work on. So you got to tear the whole dozer apart to get to them. We've had a couple machines come in that have these problems with these hydrostatic pumps. So that's one of the main things we're going to be looking at, checking everything for codes. Pass undercarriage obviously is going to be a huge factor as well, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, yeah, these dozers are a little tough to get right now, so we're kind of looking extra hard to try to find these like D5, 650K, Komatsu, like D39 size machines right now, just because they're hard to get for a good price. We're trying to find stuff for like the under 100 grand mark, because that seems to be where a lot of our customers are buying these at, especially up here in wine country where we're at. But anyway, so we'll see what happens. Got a 650K here, 2018 model. It's got about 3,300 hours on it. Undercarriage actually looks pretty good on it. Pins and bushings on the blade look pretty nice. Not a whole lot of slop on this thing, actually. I was actually surprised, and no leaks or anything. So anyway, unit seems to be in pretty good shape. We're running a low voltage code for the lights, but that's an easy fix, no big deal there. Looks like it was serviced pretty recently, so everything's fresh on it. So this unit actually is looking pretty solid. So I think we're going to make an offer on this unit. So as you can see here, I'll show you what I'm kind of looking for when I look at these units. Now keep in mind, I'm not a mechanic or anything, but this is just kind of the stuff I look for when I'm buying a machine. So first and foremost, on a dozer, gonna look at the undercarriage. So I'll kind of walk you guys through. You can kind of see, but that's the idler right there. Mainly when you're looking at an idler, you just want to make sure it doesn't walk, meaning it doesn't move back and forth over the track chain. Bearings aren't bad or anything like that. And also that's the track tensioner right there. So look behind me right there. So there's a seal in there, and a lot of times that seal will actually blow. So you want to make sure that the seal isn't leaking, and that there's plenty of tension left on the track tensioner. So if you actually go back and look at the track tensioner itself, you'll be able to see the distance remaining on that track tensioner, and that'll actually tell you how stretched out the track chain is, which that would be this right here. We call that the track chain. And then these are the pins underneath here, right underneath the track chain there. So anyway, just some things to look forward to. Track pads on this one look really good. Looked like they replaced the undercarriage fairly recently on this unit. And you can see the top rollers right there. And then I'll take you back here. You can look at the sprockets. Sprockets are right here. Sprockets look really solid, not super pointy. So, I mean, everything looks pretty solid on this machine, surprisingly for United Rentals. Usually their stuff can be kind of hit and miss. Then there's the ripper shanks right there, you can see. Don't look too bad, not too worn out. Look pretty decent. And I check this unit for leaks. Usually the first place I go. So I open the doors, check out the doors. And this is the battery side, but I usually just look for, like, you know, acid on the batteries, you know, flat wires are exposed, things of that nature. Always something to look forward to is now on the newer units, you want to look at the depth. You always want to make sure the depth looks nice inside. It's not contaminated or anything. It doesn't have a bunch of residual depth around it. Doesn't look like it's had a bunch of dirt in it. Something you really want to look for on these units. And then check out the hydraulic cylinder on the back. Oh, you can see on the rippers. Cylinder looks really good. Looks really clean. Our rod looks good. No pitting on the rod. So it looks nice there. Kind of take you guys around the back, side here. So inside this thing. And so when I get in the cab, kind of the first thing I like to do, I like to check everything inside the cab. How do all the controls feel? Are the controls tight? Are they loose? Does everything work? Now that's the biggest thing is in these, especially in these higher end Dozer models. You want to make sure that all the buttons work and all the wiring harnesses are plugged in and everything's intact, because some of this stuff can be very, very expensive to replace. Like especially the display on these things, like that display in the front there, that is probably about $2,000, just that display. So you can see, like if you're buying a Dozer for your first time, you don't know this stuff can get very, very expensive to fix. So something you always want to just look out for. How's this machine been taken care of? How's the cab look? Like first impressions are everything on a machine, in my opinion. You know, what's this machine been used for? And if it's a rental, not a problem. A lot of rental companies take good care of their equipment, but how does everything look on the inside of the cab? And that'll basically be a direct representation of either the branch, if it's a national company, or the company itself, if it's a smaller company. Okay, how did they take care of this unit? How did they maintain this unit? How did they fix problems? And then first thing I look for, especially out here in California, in an enclosed cab unit like this, does the AC work? I don't know how many times I've ran into machines where like, oh yeah, the AC works great. And yeah, it's like barely blowing. So, and ACs can get extremely expensive to fix. As you guys know, AC compressor is very expensive. I mean, there's a multitude of other things that, you can have issues with on an enclosed cab on an AC. Are they cleaning the AC the intake filter for the AC? That can choke out a complete AC system. You can be replacing almost everything on the AC. So just something you really want to be mindful of on an enclosed cab machine, and especially out here in Northern California when it gets hot. Something you really want to check out. And just like the overall presentation of the inside of the cab, like, has somebody hammered this thing? Did it just been out to a million small rental customers that just haven't taken care of it? And then if so, if it's had damage, has the damage been repaired on it? A lot of rental companies, they don't give a shit. They'll bill the customer and won't fix it. So looking for that. This thing actually looks really, really decent. I'm actually surprised that United Rentals took as good care of this machine as they did. It looks really, really nice. I'm actually pretty impressed, to be honest with you. Usually their stuff is just pretty freaking hammered. Which, I mean, there's a price to everything. You could buy something, fix it up, make a buck on it. And that's what we like to do. But, especially right now, the way the equipment market is, a lot of stuff's really, really weird. The way the market is, not a lot of inventory out there, especially for enclosed cab dozers with rippers, harder to find. So you want to buy something that's ready to go. You want to be able to sell it to a customer. No, he's not going to have problems with it. You can put it on the job site right away. So, it's really, really important, because these machines, a lot of them are just going to work right away. So now the end of the year, a lot of guys are still buying stuff for tax write-offs, but something that you really want to be mindful of, you're retailing it to a customer. I always like to basically buy something as if like I was buying it. I'm not, we're not into this, at least I'm not in this to just make money. It's, a lot of my customers have been with me for 10 years, and they don't even call me up anymore to come look at stuff. They just, send them some photos, send them a video, boom, buy the machine, just because there's the trust built up there. But anyway, just some things to be mindful of when you're looking at a dozer, just some things that I look for. Now keep in mind, again, not a mechanic, I'm a broker. This is the things that I look for when I'm buying a machine. There's obviously, I can go in a lot more in depth, but just kind of the overall presentation of the machine right away looked good on this unit. And I think we're probably going to make an offer on this machine. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Peace.